Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Chris Sowers with this AccuWeather update. We're breaking into your regularly scheduled programming to continue to update you on the very unhealthy air quality that we're seeing across the Philadelphia area right now. AccuWeather alert has also been issued, and we're moving into that time of day where the worst of it, or the thickest part of this smoke plume, will be pushing through the Philadelphia area. And you can see that here by following along with the colors, the dots across the Philadelphia area. So we have now been placed in a very rare code red. I mentioned this during the noon show. I've been forecasting for 23 years, 17 of them here at this station. I honestly can't remember the last time we've ever had a code red. I'm sure we've had one before, but I'm going to have to do some digging to see when the last time we actually had a code red here. It means the air quality is really, really unhealthy. This is stuff that you would typically see out west with the wildfire situation during the summer's season, but we're seeing it here up and down the East Coast right now. And look at the purples popping now just west of Philadelphia for the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area, as well as Allentown, Reading, and then down a little bit farther to the south into south central portions of Pennsylvania. What's going on here is the particles in the smoke. Remember, your lungs, they sort of act like a, well, they act like a filter. So it traps all the unhealthy particles, and then when you cough or you sneeze or you clear your throat, that's your body's way of pushing all of that unhealthy stuff out of your body, right? Well, these particles become very difficult for your lungs to clear out. So it kind of gets trapped in your body. So because of that, this is an unhealthy situation for everybody, the young, the elderly, especially those with respiratory issues. You want to avoid any kind of activity outdoors today, if at all possible. If you got to be outdoors, limit the time that you spend out there. Look at this. We're live on Sky 6 right now overlooking the Ben Franklin Bridge. That's not haze that you would typically see with humidity. That is all smoke. I mean, look at the dew point. That's really, really low. To put that in perspective, that's desert southwest type stuff. That's how dry it is out there right now. But again, it looks hazy as if it were really, really humid this time of the year. It's 74 degrees, can't see much. Visibility down to about 2.5 miles right now, Philadelphia International. Reading is one of the locations that is seeing the worst of the smoke plume at the moment. This is live on Sky 6 from the pagoda. You can't even see anything right now. Again, look at the dew point, really, really dry. So this is not humidity. This is all smoke pushing through. One of the products that we use here, this is our Future Tracker smoke tool. Purple is the worst color that you see on this particular tool. That's where the thickest smoke is. And you can see it's already pushing through our far western counties now. That's going to be collapsing south, pushes in Philadelphia over the next several hours, just in time for the evening commute. So just as the sun is going down, it's going to look really, really hazy out there, maybe even a little bit worse than what we're seeing now, if you can possibly imagine that. But then overnight tonight, the worst of it pushes off the coast and out to sea. Tomorrow afternoon, notice how we're only seeing those reds and oranges as opposed to purples. Now, that's still unhealthy, but it's not quite as bad as what we're dealing with today. Then, as we fast forward into Friday and this upcoming weekend, see this right here? That's a big upper level low pressure system. It is actually moving back towards the west. The significance in that is it's going to take the smoke plume and push that back to the west as well. So eventually, as we get into maybe Friday evening and Saturday, or maybe it's Saturday evening and Sunday, eventually things will clear out a little bit. The problem is everything naturally wants to move from west to east across the lower 48. So at some point, that low will start to move east again, which will allow that smoke plume to move east as well. At some point, we're going to have to deal with it. There's the upper level low right there. Again, counterclockwise winds pulling all that smoke down. Look at that right there in the Philadelphia area. That's not cirrus. That is all cloud cover associated with the smoke right now. So what you need to know as we wrap this up here, it's going to look very, very hazy the rest of the time today. Very unhealthy air quality. Again, limit the time that you spend outdoors today. Temperatures topping out in the upper 70s. Of course, we'll be back in another hour with an update, and Action News at 4. We'll be all over it with the latest and what you can expect. We're now going to take you back to Rachel Ray, already in progress.
I'm meteorologist Adam Joseph with this AccuWeather alert. You can see it, you can smell it, that wildfire smoke pushing into the heart of the Delaware, Lehigh Valley, Mid-Atlantic into southern New England. You look at the air quality index, most of the region in the red, which is unhealthy, but now into the Lehigh Valley, very unhealthy, and up towards Scranton, hazardous conditions as the thickest of the smoke is now starting to push in from the north and east. So why is it so smoky today? We have those wildfires ongoing still still over 150 wildfires east of Hudson Bay and north of Quebec. We have low pressure over New England. We have high pressure in the northern plains. Opposite forces, winds are funneling this smoke with this omega block. It's very concentrated and moving right through Toronto into the heart of our region here. So it is funneling directly down to the south, and it cannot disperse on either side of those pressure systems. So you look at the latest Sky 6 live in the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. You can barely see behind the bridge here, and that camera is not that far from the Delaware River. Visible satellite imagery. We do have some smoke in southern New Jersey and the state of Delaware, but here comes the thickest of the smoke. You see the whiter colors here from the Delaware Valley up to the Lehigh Valley. This will continue to drain to the south, and folks on Twitter telling me up in Bucks County it is so thick it almost has a pinkish hue to the atmosphere, and that's because that smoke is blocking a lot of that sunlight. Only the longer wavelengths of red and orange colors are coming through from the sun. Visibility down less than a mile in Trenton, a mile Allentown, a mile and a quarter in Pottstown, Philadelphia, 4 miles, the same for Millville. So not only is it today, tonight, but right through tomorrow, the thickest of the smoke moving in. Avoid outdoor activities. Everybody, not just the unhealthy group. Air quality through tomorrow alert, and improvement will be gradual. We'll send you regularly scheduled programming.
Right now at 4 o'clock, an eerie haze blankets the entire region. The image is almost hard to believe. While there's no cause for panic, there is cause for everyone to take action today. Smoke from wildfires burning hundreds of miles away in Canada has prompted a rare code red air quality alert right here in our area. It is Wednesday afternoon. I'm Brian Taft.
And I'm Sarah Bloomquist. The big story on Action News is the AccuWeather alert issued for the dangerous conditions created by the smoke. Everyone is being urged to avoid outdoor activity if possible. Low visibility has also delayed flights arriving to Philadelphia International Airport this afternoon.
And you can see why. How about another live look through Sky 6? This is the view, sort of, from our live casino camera in South Philadelphia. Well, you can barely see one side of the bridge to the other. The worst of the smoke is actually arriving right now.
Meteorologist Adam Joseph standing by in the Weather Center with more. We'll get to him in just a moment.
But we're going to begin our coverage with Action News reporter Maggie Kent live at Belmont Plateau with more on what people need to know before heading outside this afternoon. Maggie.
Brian and Sarah, as you mentioned it, the worst is right now. Ricky and I have been outside going to different places and taking a look at the skyline. I can promise you there's supposed to be a skyline behind me. Not the case right now. We also report in many building fires, and it almost feels like we're standing outside of a building fire doing a report there. But this is coming all the way from Canada, and as you mentioned, it's prompted a code red. There's a thickness in the air. A dense fog settled around the city's skyline. The skyscrapers are hard to make out, even with a bird's eye view from Drone 6.
I came out last night and it just kind of smelled weird. Not really necessarily like smoke, but just strange, and it was just very foggy.
The reason? Forest fires burning in Canada, pushing smoke and ash towards our region, making for potentially dangerous conditions. Philadelphia's health department has declared a code red air quality alert. Dr. Cheryl Bedigal, the health commissioner.
These are very, very fine bits of matter that can get inhaled very deep into your lung tissue, and they can do damage there to the lungs. They can actually be absorbed sometimes into the bloodstream.
The code red is prompting the cancellations of a number of outdoor events and led the Philadelphia School District to cancel outdoor activities in recess today. Symptoms of prolonged air particulate exposure include:
you can start feeling chest tightness, you may start coughing, you may notice your eyes burning.
Today, it's best to keep outdoor activities to a minimum. Close your windows and use fans to circulate indoor air and wear a mask.
I had some spots on my lungs a while ago, and so, they went away, but I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to do this.
Again, Dr. Benegal urging people to stay inside if at all possible. I asked her about when could we see all of this go away? How long does it take? She says it's really up to Mother Nature and how quickly they can contain those fires in Canada. We're live in Belmont Plateau. Maggie Kent, Channel 6 Action News. Brian.
It's almost hard to wrap your head around that this is smoke causing all this. Maggie, thank you. Well, the smoke's so thick in New York City this afternoon. Take a look at this. The sky turned orange and topped the list of worst air quality anywhere in the world. Stunning images show that iconic skyline covered by that dense orange haze, creating an almost post-apocalyptic scene there.
Let's get over to meteorologist Adam Joseph in the Weather Center with more on what we can expect as we head into the late afternoon, evening hours.
Yeah, very little is going to change here. It will actually increase the density of the smoke into South Jersey, and you get that almost orange or red hue when it's that thick because only the longer wavelengths of sunlight can penetrate through all those particulates, those longer wavelengths of light, reds and oranges. Air quality index right now, Western Lancaster County up into the Lehigh Valley, Scranton, it is now in the hazardous zone, the top end of the air quality index. Then you get in towards the Philadelphia region. It is unhealthy at this point. In downtown Center City, right behind this red, there is the one above it on the very unhealthy side, meaning it is affecting every human of every single age group, and you've got to really keep indoors. So why so smoky? There's an omega block in place in the upper atmosphere. We have low pressure over northern New England. We have high pressure to the west. So you get the two opposite forces of wind funneling in that smoke, and it's very concentrated because it only has a small path to push in from southern Canada into the mid-Atlantic and southern New England. Visible satellite imagery showing you got a little better visibility in far southern zones, but here is where we have the thickest of the smoke now pushing down from the Lehigh Valley, Delaware Valley, and parts of central New Jersey. And the visibility map shows exactly where that is. 4 to 5 mile visibility down to the south, 2 miles in the city, less than a mile in Trenton, a mile in Allentown, just over a mile in New York City. On all this trajectory will push it over the Delaware Valley and then into southern New Jersey. The state of Delaware, a little better, but still very unhealthy. Thickest smoke so far now continues to move in. Avoid outdoor activities this evening. Air quality alerts through the day tomorrow. The improvement, it's going to be very gradual near the end of the week and weekend. We'll chat about that coming up in a little bit, guys.
Okay, Adam, thank you. You'll want to download the 6ABC app to keep up with the latest as the smoke moves through our area. There you can see updated alerts impacting your community, as well as more on how you can protect yourself. Let's get another check on that AccuWeather forecast. This is another look at the smoky conditions outside. Sky 6 showing you from our Brandywine camera, the Center City skyline, that thick, hazy smoke just hanging over the city, Brian.
It's a remarkable sight. Meteorologist Adam Joseph live in the Weather Center. And it's fascinating, really, how these high pressure and low pressure conspiring to deliver it right where we are.
And that it's reaching the ground and smelling it. That's the other thing here. You think about how far away that smoke is coming from. And I did an interview on HYY at lunchtime today, and I talked to them about, usually there's a lid in the atmosphere called the inversion. There's no lid today. So it's allowing that smoke to come to the ground and circulate, and that will be the case tomorrow again as the atmosphere is well mixed. Air quality alert through the day tomorrow with code red and code orange. It improves a little bit for some of us tomorrow, but still something we really need to chat about and warn about. Air quality index that goes from good to hazardous. We're seeing hazardous right now in the Lehigh Valley and parts of Lancaster County. Tomorrow it is going to be, or today, I should say, it is between unhealthy and very unhealthy. Tomorrow, it pushes more towards the orange for southeastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey, meaning it's more for the sensitive groups with those with lung and heart conditions, while Delaware tomorrow will stay in the red. So here's future smoke. We still have that really intense smoke overhead through 11 o'clock tonight. Then going into early tomorrow morning, you can see how it starts to lighten and break apart a little bit in South southeastern Pennsylvania, but still heavy in southern New Jersey and Delaware. Tomorrow, even late at night into Friday morning. This is Friday morning at 11 a.m. That smoke is still around, and it's until we completely change that wind direction out of the north that we can disperse this. But yes, it improves a little bit tomorrow and Friday. Temperatures are in the low 70s north and west of the city, 69 in Allentown, 59 in the Poconos, where you have that smoke that is so thick. Upper 70s where it's a little less intense in the state of Delaware, around 78 degrees. We have this big upper level low. We just want this to push way back over us because it will give us some rain opportunity. We also still have that wildfire risk on the high side. We're only going to get a very small piece of that. So tonight, 58, smoky, low visibility. Keep the windows closed, the fans on inside. And tomorrow, that hazy sunshine for the Lehigh Valley of the city with that smoke in the air, 70s again, 60s at the shore as a sea breeze develops down there. And as we end the week on Friday, in the afternoon, nothing more than a spotty shower around, no significant rain to help, again, the other issue, which is that dry ground. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, AccuWeather alert with that smoky sky tomorrow, poor air quality 78. Clouds, a scattered shower on Friday, still a little haze in the air. And then we should try to brighten things up here Saturday, Sunday with some more blue back in the sky, heading into the 80s, more humid on Sunday. And now it looks like a good opportunity, maybe of a soaker or two on Monday, 82 degrees, lingering shower Tuesday, and not bad. Right around 80 degrees for Wednesday of next week. We'll have another update coming up, Brian, in the next half hour.
Okay, see you then, Adam. Thank you.
It is now 4:30 and Action News continues with an AccuWeather alert for something we can all see, smell, and almost feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Heavy smoke from Canadian wildfires has been blanketing the region all day long, leading to poor visibility and extremely unhealthy air. For more on where that plume is right now and when we might expect some relief, we get to meteorologist Adam Joseph tracking all of it in the Weather Center.
It's going to be very slow to erode and disperse out of our region. It may not be till the tail end of the week and the beginning of the weekend. It'll improve a little bit tomorrow and Friday, but at this moment in time, Allentown up to Scranton, this is in the hazardous zone now, so on the top end of the air quality index. As you go in the western suburbs near Lancaster, and then right over Center City, you got very unhealthy air quality, and then the rest of the region, it is unhealthy. So you just have to really limit your outdoor exposure no matter who you are. So air quality index, most of us between that unhealthy and very unhealthy, but up in the Lehigh Valley, it is now over 300 when you look at the air quality index in that hazardous zone. Tomorrow, again, we'll get more into that sensitive orange zone for some of us. So the entire region code red through the night. Fine particulate matters are at ground level from the wildfire smoke up in Canada, and those little particulates, they easily can get into your lungs and your bloodstream if you exert yourself or breathe heavy. So very difficult for all. Avoid outdoor activity if you can. Looking at a side-by-side here, 75 in the city, trying to look at the Benjamin Franklin Bridge with that smoke. On the opposite end, you look at Sky 6 Live at the shore, and you have far better visibility there with a little bit of blue in the sky, and that's showing exactly where the thickest of the smoke is from Philadelphia off to the north, where we have less than a mile visibility, Allentown to Trenton, 2 miles in the city, and then down into southern New Jersey, it's closer towards 5 miles. But even there, it will start to diminish those levels of your visibility as we get into the evening. We'll chat more about the rest of your forecast in the 7-day in just a little bit. Brian?
Okay, Adam, thank you. Well, the tri-state region is far from alone when it comes to unhealthy air quality.
Americans in at least 18 states are being warned to stay indoors as much as possible, including in the nation's largest metropolis of New York City, where skies have turned an eerie orange.
Yeah, that's where ABC's Alexis Christoforous is with an update on the conditions in other parts of America.
Millions of Americans are on alert, being urged to stay indoors as much of the Northeast is experiencing the worst air quality on record since 1999. The National Weather Service issuing air quality alerts stretching west to Ohio and as far south as the Carolinas and Georgia.
These values are not just unhealthy, they're downright dangerous, not just to those who have chronic lung disease or those who are elderly, but also to everyone.
New York City's air quality index peaking above 300 or hazardous, registering among the top 5 worst major cities worldwide.
This is not the day to train for a marathon or to do an outside event with your children. Stay inside, close windows and doors, and use air purifiers if you have them.
In addition to staying inside, medical experts advise wearing a high-quality mask, such as an N95, checking HEPA filters if you have them inside your home, and setting air conditioners in your car and house to recirculate. All that smoke is coming from wildfires in Canada. The country's fire season off to an early start with more than 8.7 million acres burned.
Across the country as of today, there are 414 wildfires burning, 239 of which are determined to be out of control.
While wildfires are not caused by climate change, excessive heat and drought are. And experts believe that's helping fuel longer and more intense fires.
This smoke and fog over New York and the rest of the Northeast is a warning from nature that we have a lot of work to do to reverse the destruction of climate change.
According to Stanford researchers, exposure to unhealthy levels of wildfire smoke for several days is the equivalent of smoking 7 cigarettes a day if someone were outside the entire time. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
And as Alexis's report was airing, we just got some breaking news as it relates to all this smoke out there. The Phillies game tonight against the Tigers has now been postponed due to those air quality issues.
Yeah, we imagine that was likely to happen given the conditions and the warnings to not be exercising outside. Wouldn't want a big crowd sitting out there for the whole game this evening.
Right, this was to be the 3rd game in the series. They won the first 2 games. They were hoping for a win tonight, but maybe that's going to happen whenever this game is rescheduled. Of course, we'll let you know. Thursday, 6:05, I'm just being told. How about that? Ask and ye shall receive. Well, you can find the latest on the air quality and the forest fires anytime by downloading the free 6ABC app. That's also where our team of meteorologists will be posting the latest on the dry conditions. What do you say we get a check on the roads right now?
Jessica Boyington.
So many things to say.
I know you have so many.
I'm over here like, okay, so basically I was set up on a blind date with my fiance.
Well, look at that.
And I basically drink ranch dressing and he doesn't care. So there it is.
There you go.
It wasn't the milk, honey. Guys, we're out on the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge. We're on standby right now for an opening. So everything is closed basically for traffic heading either direction. So we'll see a little delay on either side of the bridge for right now. I wanted to check in with some of this visibility because it is poor. Let me tell you, all of our cameras look like this. It almost looks like it's 8, 9 p.m. or getting close to that point. The Vine Street Expressway moving through Center City showing that right around the Schuylkill. Visibility is very poor here, east-west. We still have some of that delay and volume, though, that we would typically have. Here's the Ben Franklin Bridge. You can't even see the Skyline right now if you're looking from the Jersey side and heading on into Philadelphia. Traffic a little light there, though. Out on 95, I was going to use this camera that's in this area where this disabled vehicle is, but you can't even see it because of the heavy smoke in the area of Broad Street and 95. So northbound there, we do have a disabled vehicle. It's off into the shoulder. If you're out on the PA Turnpike, watch for a crash on the eastbound side near Willow Grove. And if you're heading out the door on Route 38, we still have this crash out in Morristown. Eastbound around Fellowship Road is about 13 miles per hour approaching the scene there. Westbound, we're seeing some of that gaper delay as well. I'll end with a check on the Schuylkill Expressway. Again, some of the cameras that we want to look at are a little difficult to see, but we still have speeds into the teens and lower than that in some spots, 25 or 39 minutes at the most on the eastbound side if you're moving all the way from the Blue Route headed down to Center City. Brian and Sarah, back over to you.
Okay, Jessica, thank you. Still ahead, another check on the AccuWeather forecast.
Yep, Adam Joseph when we come right back. Time once again to check in on that AccuWeather forecast.
Yeah, all day long we've been watching this smoke as it's been building throughout the region.
Yeah, and yesterday at this time we were showing it to you on Future Tracker that the worst of it would be between about 5 and 11 o'clock tonight. And that is the case as it is pushing into the heart of the Delaware Valley and the Lehigh Valley. The image over our live casino camera of Citizens Bank Park, and you can see just that tremendous haze in the air, that smoke that is obscuring the view as you try to look deeper into these cameras. And as I've noted, the Phillies game has been postponed until Thursday evening of next week. Worst of the air quality is now pushing in and will continue through the depths of the evening hours. And we can see it on the visible satellite imagery. Visible satellite is different than infrared. The visible is using the sunlight to show where there are particles or different types of crystals crystals in the atmosphere with the cloud cover and bounces it back to the satellite. And you can see the brighter white. This is where the thickest smoke is right now, kind of right in the northern part of Delaware, central parts of New Jersey to the north, and it will push a little bit farther to the south. And that is where the visibilities are the lowest. We're talking less than a mile visibility in Trenton, Allentown, where there are hazardous conditions right now there. 1 mile in Pottstown, 2 in the city, and a little bit better in Dover, Millville, Wildwood, Atlantic City, 4 to 5 mile visibility. And because of that thick smoke, it is blocking some of the solar radiation from warming us, so you have cooler temperatures to the north. Only 60s Allentown and Trenton, 72 in Chalfont, but warmer to the south where you have more sunlight penetrating through those little particles in the air, so upper 70s there. Forecast for tonight, it's smoky, breezy with low visibility, 40s in the northern suburbs, lower 50s for the rest of us, 58 degrees for Philadelphia. Winds continue out of the northwest. Tomorrow, hazy, smoky once again. It will be a little less intense than what we see today, but still very unhealthy for many of us. 62 in the morning, 73 at lunchtime. And then again, as we get into the afternoon, we still have that smoke in the air. Temperatures not getting out of the upper 70s. Tomorrow, 77 Millville, 77 Wilmington, lower 70s up in the Lehigh Valley with, again, at times of reduced visibility. Those winds not changing out of that northwesterly direction. That is the direction that is coming in directly from those wildfires east of the Hudson Bay. Air quality alert tomorrow. It is a code red for the state of Delaware as that thicker smoke settles to the south. And right now a code orange for Pennsylvania as well as New Jersey. But it's a fluid situation, and we've got to see if there's more plumes that the models aren't picking up that come in. So that exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, that alert tomorrow with that smoky sky again, 78. Even smoke lingering into Friday. It'll be better, but it's still going to be around 74. A scattered shower in the afternoon. Turns warmer over the weekend. The 80s come back in turning humid as we get into late Sunday, and maybe a healthy soaking of rain to cleanse the air, water the ground on Monday, a lingering shower Tuesday, and the humidity goes away, and the heat by Tuesday, Wednesday, only near 80 degrees.
Okay, Monday's a perfect day to rain.
It would be a very perfect day.
You got it.
Yes.
Adam, thanks. More action news coming up right after this.
Now at 5, a drastic difference in just 2 days. Tonight, the Delaware Valley and the nation are blanketed by a dangerous, smoky haze. Residents are being asked to stay indoors as cities across the country feel the effects of wildfires burning hundreds of miles away in Canada. Wednesday night, and the big story in Action News is the air quality alert across our region.
Yeah, the hazy conditions are impacting the airport, as we can see, and anyone who's outside. Flights that were bound for PHL are being slowed because of the smoke, and a handful of schools have also canceled their outdoor activities.
We have live team coverage tonight on the growing health concerns. We begin with New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman, who's live in Pennsauken for us. Trish.
Well, Rick, visibility has definitely gone down throughout the day. This is normally a spot here in Cooper River Park where you can see the Philadelphia skyline, and as you can see, not so much today. Now, we spoke to a doctor this afternoon who's urging people to stay inside as our area deals with all of the smoke. As the haze set in across South Jersey, we found people spending some time outside despite warnings to stay in.
You sneak in a walk before it gets bad.
Smoke from wildfires in Canada has pushed into our area, resulting in dangerous air quality. Yesterday, our area was code orange, unhealthy for sensitive groups. But today, the air reached a rare code red, unhealthy for the general public. Some parts of our area may even reach the purple, very unhealthy level. For days, people say they've noticed the smoky conditions.
I was going over the Walt Whitman Bridge and I couldn't even really see the city.
Even during last night's Phillies game.
It's like out of nowhere, the smoke kind of just like came over the bright lights and it was all hazy. Kind of bothered my eyes a little bit, actually.
Officials are recommending masks for people spending time outside. John Martelli's wife has asthma and took that advice.
She's been walking around here at Haddonfield today with a mask on. I don't have the mask, but she's the one that needs it.
Dr. Eric Steinman, a pulmonologist at Virtua Health, says fine particles of burned debris in the air can be harmful.
And as you inhale that, you typically have local irritation, whether it's to the eyes or the nose or the mouth. However, if you get a deeper breath or bigger inhalation of the smoke, what it does, it causes inflammation and irritation of the lung lining.
He says patients are complaining of burning eyes and coughing. He says high-risk groups like those with respiratory conditions or young children should stay inside.
It's important to close your windows at home. Make sure when you're driving, you're closing your windows in the car, and try to limit your time outside.
Now here in New Jersey, all state offices closed early today because of the deteriorating conditions. Our expert says if you find that you are struggling to breathe, seek medical attention. Reporting live in Pensacola, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News.
All right, Trish, thank you. Schools across the region modified activities today to protect students. The School District of Philadelphia moved recess and other outside activities indoors. Sporting events are also being rescheduled. In Montgomery County, Keith Valley Middle School dismissed students early because of the air quality.
Also, the Phillies, they have postponed tonight's game at Citizens Bank Park because of these health concerns as well.
Let's check in now with meteorologist Cecily Tynan with a look at how long this could last for us. Cecily.
Well, Rick and Shari, much of the week, it will gradually start to dilute the smoke as we head towards the weekend. But right now, the air quality index, this shows all those dots, different locations. Now, where you have a green dot, that shows good air quality. Not any of that anywhere near us. South of Philadelphia, it's red. That's unhealthy. Philadelphia right now has moved into very unhealthy. Allentown and Scranton is in the hazardous zone. So this thickest smoke across the Lehigh Valley, but that is going to be moving south as we head through the evening hours. So why is it so smoky out there? Well, part of the reason why, of course, the wildfires in Canada, but also because we have what's known as an omega block. We have low pressure to our northeast, we have high pressure to our northwest, and those two systems aren't moving, and the circulation around the two is funneling in the smoke right over our area. So it actually concentrates it, and since those systems aren't moving, we get wave over and over again, and it won't start to get diluted until that omega block breaks down, and that won't happen until the end of the week. Visible satellite showing that right now the highest concentration is starting to move south in our area. Northern Delaware, you're getting it, but Allentown is the worst right now, and that will push to the south as we head through the evening hours. Visibility, I mean, you can really see the smoke in the air. That visibility now at 4 miles in Wilmington, down to 2 miles in Philadelphia, 1 mile in Pottstown, and that visibility is only 3/4 of a mile in Allentown, where that air quality is hazardous. So overnight tonight, we get another plume of the smoke that pushes in through the evening hours. What happened to my graphics now? And well, let me just tell you what's going on. I know what's happening here. So tomorrow we have another air quality alert, so please limit your time outdoors. As we head towards the end of the week, it will start to get better, and also I'm tracking some much needed shower activity on the way. I'll have details on that when we fix our computer, coming up with a full AccuWeather forecast. Shari.
All right, who needs it? You know it all. All right, Cecily, thanks. This, of course, a wildfire also burning closer to home. This one in Jackson Township, and we're learning it was just contained. That fire broke out in the area of East Commodore Boulevard and Cedar Swamp Road yesterday afternoon. The Forest Fire Service says the wildfire grew to 82 acres before it was able to be contained. Officials say crews will continue to monitor that area, though, this evening. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Time now to see how traffic is moving out on the roadways.
Jessica Boynton in the Action News Traffic Center. We've reached midweek, Jess, huh?
We have, guys, almost there. Watching right through Center City, and this has been a camera to really take in today. Watching the Vine, a very different scene than what we normally see. Or lack of seeing here. We can obviously tell that the smog and then the area, the visibility is very poor on the Vine, both directions, east, west, dealing with some delays, especially that merge onto the Schuylkill, but it's difficult to see. And same goes for the visibility on the Schuylkill Expressway as well. If you're on the Ben Franklin Bridge, we're heading on into Philadelphia. All of a sudden, we have big delays moving into the city, and which, of course, I can mention that you can't even see the skyline with some of that visibility there heading into Philadelphia. But this is brand new, so there could be an accident at the bottom. There could be something happening on the Vine as well. I'm going to double check in with that for you to see what that is, but big delays moving into Philadelphia for now. Same goes for the Girard Point Bridge. We're all of a sudden seeing some delay here as well. Now, this is going away from the stadium areas, more towards the airport. You can see we're stop and go. Visibility also poor there as well. Same goes for the 42 freeway. We look like this everywhere with added delays and poor visibility. Probably giving yourself a little extra time might be your best bet. If you're out in Ewing on 29 north and south, though, right near Scenic Drive, watch for a crash there, taking out lanes in both directions. Rick.
All right, Jess, we'll check again at 5:30. Thank you. Time now for a check of the AccuWeather forecast tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about this AccuWeather alert because the condition that's impacting us is a smoky one.
Yes, and it continues tomorrow. So it's going to take a while for us to diffuse the smoke and get healthy air back in our area. So right now, an air quality alert is in effect for our entire area through tomorrow. Delaware is under a code red, and New Jersey and Pennsylvania under a code orange, but that could change. That could be updated tomorrow as we watch the plumes of smoke continue to move across our area. So when we talk about the air quality index, it's all based on the concentration of pollutants in the air. A good air quality is less than 50. Right now in our area, Philadelphia is at 255, so that's very unhealthy. The Lehigh Valley, Allentown, is at 464, so that's hazardous. Our entire area is either unhealthy, very unhealthy, or hazardous, and our air quality really won't improve dramatically until we head towards the weekend and we can really shift the wind. So future tracker showing that plume of smoke currently over Allentown will be right over the Philadelphia area tonight at 11 o'clock. So this will be the worst of it for Philadelphia. Now heading towards tomorrow, that low pressure that's over the north and east, it moves a little bit farther to the west. So notice Buffalo will be getting a really high concentration of smoke. That highest concentration likely will miss us to the west, but it doesn't mean we still don't have smoke. We still have smoke across our area. It's just not going to be quite as bad as tonight. And then as we head towards the end of the week and the weekend, that's when the smoke particles will start to dilute across our area. Temperature-wise, with that hazy smoke, the temperatures are really suppressed. Philadelphia, 73. Allentown, only 69 degrees. Notice farther down to the south, Middletown, the smoke isn't quite as intense. That temperature is 78 degrees, and Cape May got the wind off the ocean, currently 73. Satellite radar showing that low pressure up to north and east. That's really where all the shower activity is and will remain there until we head towards the end of the week. So tonight will be a dry night with a smoky haze. So typically when it's 58 degrees, I say open up the windows, let the fresh air blow in. Don't do that. Keep the windows shut tonight. You want to keep that smoke out of your house. Tomorrow, Lehigh Valley, hazy sunshine, 73. Philadelphia up to 78 degrees with that hazy sunshine. At the Jersey Shore, that sea breeze will keep the temperatures down to 69 degrees, and that'll also help clear the air on the beaches. Future tracker showing Friday, finally, we get some scattered showers, but notice they are few and far between. We're not looking at rain for everyone, but at least some areas will get some showers. So the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, we have an AccuAlert tomorrow for that smoky sky with a high of 78 degrees and an air quality alert. Friday, clouds with some scattered showers in the afternoon, 74. Saturday turning warmer, 81 degrees. We bump it up to 86 degrees on Sunday as a wind shift out of the south. That will help get rid of that smoke. And Monday, finally, some wet weather by the evening. Adam will talk more about that in the next half hour, guys. It'll get better, but it's just very gradual.
Okay. Thanks, Seth.
Okay, more action news when we continue here in our next half hour. Now the details here at 5:30, and we talk more about those dangerous smoky conditions. These concerns are creating an air quality alert. A thick haze is blanketing the Delaware Valley. If you've stepped outside or even looked outside, you've noticed. And this is making for unsafe conditions. It's from the wildfires that are burning to the north in Canada, and the smoke is set to stick around for several more days. Right now, this is a live look from Sky 6, giving you the view right over Citizens Bank Park in South Philadelphia. Take a look. So hazy. With people being told to stay indoors, the Phillies have postponed tonight's game. Action News reporter Bob Brooks is live for us right now in South Philadelphia. And Bob, they made this decision just about an hour ago.
Yeah, Shar, that's right. Just as the gates were set to open up around 4:30, they made the call, and they tried to give it a go, but it just wasn't meant to be with all this smoke. And just to give everyone an idea at home watching of what it looks like down here, behind me, you should be able to see the Center City skyline. That is gone, obviously, because of this smoke. So in the best interest of public health, the MLB said, let's just do it tomorrow. They were ready to go. Tailgates, pictures at the statue. Some fans said, what smoke?
It's Philadelphia. We forge on.
Others, though, had on a mask. Even before the game got postponed, some felt like having it was a risk. You think they should have called this game?
I do. I do.
And the conditions really were unique, we'll say. Fans looked like they were walking through a cloud of smoke up to the gates, and then shortly after 4:30, the call was made by the MLB to push it to tomorrow.
Such is life. What are you going to do?
Nothing you can do.
Well, I can complain on the news. Gah!
For the Magdalens, it's certainly a disappointment.
This is our anniversary, too.
Aw.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
Hi. So we'll have to find something else fun to do.
But like Jennifer said, it's time to switch gears.
I guess we're going to go party, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to probably walk around Center City and see how smoky it is.
Okay, Shari, and trust me, there is plenty of smoke in Center City right now. Again, the good news is the game only postponed till tomorrow. First pitch goes out 6:05. Let's just hope this smoke clears out. Tonight, reporting live in South Philadelphia, Bob Brooks, Channel 6, Action News. Shari.
Yeah, got to keep an eye out now on this tomorrow. Okay, Bob, thank you. The smoke created this pretty eerie science fiction-like scene in New York City this afternoon. It's glowing orange and nearly impossible to see that skyline. The Big Apple was ranked #1 for the worst air quality in the world at 2 this afternoon. The air pollution level was described as hazardous there. Canadian officials warned that this could be the country's worst wildfire season on record, with over 6.7 million acres already scorched. All right, let's see how drivers are doing out there on a hazy day.
Jessica Boynton joining us now with a closer look at the Vine Street Expressway. Can you see the Vine Street Expressway behind you there?
You know, barely. It actually looks like it's late in the evening, and it has all afternoon. And honestly, it's getting a little worse, too. We could see more of the highway from our cameras a little earlier. I mean, around the 3 o'clock mark, we could definitely see way more of this. But this is the Vine Street Expressway in the area of the Schuylkill. So this is the Schuylkill over here. Here's the Vine. We are jammed solid pretty much everywhere, and I am starting to wonder if it is a visibility issue for drivers, because we're even seeing this. So here's the Ben Franklin Bridge. This never happens. This almost never happens unless something on the other side of the bridge, or once you get into Philadelphia, maybe there's an accident, but there isn't right now, and there isn't one on the Vine Street Expressway either. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. We were looking at all the cameras. There's nothing reported right now. It's just crawling into the city, and it just makes you wonder if the visibility is some of the issue of that. So big delays moving into Philadelphia for right now. Here's the Girard Point Bridge with some hazy issues as well. And I'll end with a check out in Plymouth Township. Ridge Pike North and South, guys, at Butler Pike, an accident, but visibility does seem to be the biggest issue for us today. Back to you.
All right, Jess, thank you again. See you tomorrow.
All right, a lot to talk about in our AccuWeather forecast.
Meteorologist Adam Joseph is here now in the Weather Center, and of course we're getting updates on that alert that's in place at least through tomorrow. Yeah,
at least through tomorrow night. They'll really evaluate it tomorrow for Friday. And if you look at the visibility, it is below or at a mile at Philadelphia International Airport. Live on Sky 6, typically you can see the terminals or some of the planes parked at the gates. You cannot see it at all from this vantage point. And in fact, that air quality remains very low tonight. Throughout the day tomorrow, the worst of the air quality this evening going into the early overnight hours. So looking at some of the delays at some of the airports around the region, New York LaGuardia is nearly 2 hours with delays. Newark coming in at 82 minutes. Philadelphia, despite how thick that smoke is, it's only around 30 minutes. And then as you head towards Baltimore to the south, no delays at this time. On the visible satellite, the thickest of the smoke, you can see the white here on the satellite imagery is now settled into the Delaware Valley, pushing into parts of South Jersey, not so much in the state of Delaware yet, but this is the line exactly where the lowest visibilities are, points to the north. In fact, 1.5 miles now in Center City, a half a mile in Trenton, 3/4 of a mile Allentown, 1 mile in Pottstown, and 5 to 6 miles in those farther southern areas where the thickest of the smoke has not arrived. Due to that smoke, for much of the day, temperatures are cooler, not as much infrared sunlight coming through to warm the ground. That is 67 Allentown, 69 Trenton, 73 in Philadelphia, 75 in Millville, same for Dover. So tonight we got the low visibility, we've got the breeze, the smoke in the air, 40s to the north, 51 Williamstown, perfect night for free air conditioning, but keep the windows shut because of how poor the air quality is. Tomorrow, that haze and smoke still in the air throughout the day. Temperatures in the low to the middle 70s. 8 o'clock at night, dropping back to around 70 degrees. Most locations stopping in the upper 70s. Sea breeze at the shore, 66 to 69. Tomorrow, we do have an ozone action day, another air quality alert. Today, it is code red. Tomorrow, it will stay code red for for the state of Delaware as that settles to the south, but it'll be more like code orange in Pennsylvania and also into New Jersey. So that is at least a little bit of improvement, but it's a fluid situation and will have to be reevaluated tomorrow. Nonetheless, on the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day, that smoky sky AccuWeather alert, 78 degrees. Friday, still smoke in the air. It should ease a bit, but it'll still be around 74, some scattered showers late in the day. The weekend, it turns warmer. We're back into the 80s, a little more blue to the sky, more humid the second half of the weekend, and a good chance of some downpours coming in late Monday. There would be some much needed rain for the other issue, which is that dry ground and dry fuel bed for forest fires. And then the humidity's gone to near 80 Tuesday, Wednesday of next week.
Yeah, the rain can make a difference for more than one reason, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
Adam, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Adam. Quick break. We'll wrap things up when we come right back. Stay with us.
But the big story on Action News tonight is an AccuWeather alert for that unhealthy haze that settled in over so much of the Northeast, very much being felt in Philadelphia. We've been under a rare code red air quality alert for much of the day today as that thick smoke filters down from hundreds of wildfires in Canada. Outdoor events of all kinds have been affected by this, including tonight's Phillies game, now postponed until tomorrow night. All as health officials caution people to stay inside if possible. And take a look at the Eerie scene in New York City today. The air there among the world's most polluted this evening. We've got team coverage tonight as we cover the situation all around the region. Cecily Tynan standing by with more on how this smoke might move in the coming days. Trish Hartman with the scene in New Jersey. But we're going to begin with Maggie Kent live on the Belmont Plateau tonight. Maggie, you can see it and you can feel it.
You can feel it. It kind of irritates your eyes a little bit, Brian. You're supposed to be able to see the skyline behind me. Obviously, that is not the case, and it has gotten progressively worse throughout the day. What a difference 2 days can make. Drone 6 showing the city skyline from Winfield Heights on Monday. Today, the sky is a murky mess. The skyscrapers barely visible.
You can hardly see the skyline. Plus, it just seems it's not just white cloud, it's dark cloud, which is what's scary about it.
The poor air quality has some reaching for their masks.
I had some spots on my lungs a while ago, and so they went away, but I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to do this.
Philadelphia Health Commissioner Dr. Cheryl Bettigol says that's the right idea. Today's air quality is at an unhealthy level thanks to wildfires burning hundreds of miles away in Canada.
These are very, very fine bits of matter that can get inhaled very deep into your lung tissue, and they can do damage there to the lungs. They can actually be absorbed sometimes into the bloodstream.
The health department and EPA has issued a code red for today. The agencies are advising limiting time outside, keeping your windows closed if possible, and using fans indoors to recirculate the clean air in your home or office.
I'll go down and take care of my business, and then I'll come right back and go into the house.
And that's what they're asking everyone to do. When I asked Dr. Bettigol how long this would last, she, of course, says she's tracking the number of particulates in the air, and that's how they make this determination. Of course, it is up to Mother Nature and when they might be able to contain those forest fires in Canada. We're live at Belmont Plateau. Maggie Kent, Channel 6, Action News. Brian.
Yeah, Cecily has a direct line to Mother Nature. We'll hear from her in just a moment. In the meantime, the smoke has also been a major issue across New Jersey today. That's where we find Action News reporter Trish Hartman live in Pennsauken tonight. Trish, some truly surreal scenes there as well.
That's right, Brian. Here in New Jersey, all state offices closed earlier this afternoon because of the deteriorating conditions. We've also heard about outdoor events like outdoor concerts and students' field days that have been postponed because of all of this. Now, normally from here in Cooper River Park, you can normally see at least part of the Philadelphia skyline. Not today. As people tried to spend some time outside, the air quality has made things challenging.
I was going over the Walt Whitman Bridge, and I couldn't even really see the city.
Smoke from wildfires in Canada has pushed into our area, including South Jersey. Yesterday, our area was code orange, unhealthy for sensitive groups. But today, the air reached a rare code red, unhealthy for the general public. Some parts of our area may even reach the purple, very unhealthy level. Officials are recommending masks tips for people spending time outside. John Martelli's wife has asthma and took that advice.
She's been walking around here at Haddonfield today with a mask on. I don't have the mask, but she's the one that needs it.
Dr. Eric Steinman, a pulmonologist at Virtua Health, says fine particles of burned debris in the air can be harmful.
And as you inhale that, you typically have local irritation. However, if you get a deeper breath, what it does, it causes inflammation and irritation of the lung lining.
He says patients are complaining of burning eyes and coughing. He says high-risk groups like those with respiratory conditions or young children should stay inside.
It's important to close your windows at home. Make sure when you're driving, you're closing your windows in the car and try to limit your time outside.
Now, our expert says if you are spending time outside and it's getting challenging, your nose, throat is getting irritated, don't push it, go back inside. He says if you are struggling to breathe, seek medical attention. Reporting live in Pensacola, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News. Brian.
Okay, Trish, thank you. Now let's bring in our own resident scientist, meteorologist Cecily Tynan. Cecily, the smoke has been funneled directly down from Canada into our area. How long are we likely to be dealing with this?
Well, I think we'll have some smoke in our atmosphere through the end of the work week. But that being said, I think this is the worst of it. So it'll gradually start to dilute as we head towards the end of the week. Right now, if you look at the air quality index, so these little dots there for different locations, green is good. We don't have any green dots around us at all. South of Philadelphia, it's red, unhealthy. Philadelphia right now, very unhealthy. And then areas up to the north, Allentown, Scranton, New York City is hazardous, and that air continues to push to the south. Now, the reason why we're getting all of this smoke, first of all, the wildfires, they're burning in Quebec. But what's going on? We have an atmospheric traffic jam. We have low pressure to the northeast. We have high pressure to the northwest. They're not moving, but they're circulating. And that circulation around both systems literally funnels that air, that smoky air, into our region. And as it funnels and kind of squeezes it, the concentration gets higher. Visible satellites showing that you can see it's smokier up to the north, but you can also see how all of that is pushing down to the south. So visibility shows Allentown, you're hazardous right now. That visibility only 3/4 of a mile. Philadelphia now, it's dropped to 1.5 miles. Wilmington, it's also dropping. Trenton down to 1/2 mile. So as we head through the overnight hours, through the evening hours, that smoke will continue to be with us, but I'll talk about when things get better coming up in the full AccuWeather forecast. Brian.
Okay, Cecily, thank you. Well, the New Jersey Forest Fire Service has made major progress now in battling that wildfire burning in Ocean County. That one sparked yesterday afternoon in Jackson Township, threatening to 30 structures at one point. It grew ultimately to 82 acres, but is, as of tonight, 100% contained. Firefighters remain on that scene, monitoring the containment lines. Cecily Tynan back with us now. And Cecily, I don't recall ever seeing anything quite like what we're seeing outside tonight.
You know, last year we had one day where we had poor air quality because of wildfires, but it wasn't this bad at all. And I've been here almost 28 years, and I can't remember a day like this ever before. Let's go to where the action cam was in Trenton this afternoon, where visibility has dropped down to 1/2 mile. It almost looks like a fog, but you step outside, you don't feel any moisture in the air, but you smell the smoke, you feel it in your throat, you feel it in your eyes, and it continues tomorrow. We have another air quality alert through tomorrow. Right now, Delaware is in code red, Pennsylvania and New Jersey code orange. That could, though, get updated. And the air quality, it's all based on numbers. Now, these numbers are based on just how much pollution is in the air. Less than 50 is good air quality. Right now, the air quality in Philadelphia, it's at 255, so it's very unhealthy. Allentown, it's at 464. That's hazardous, and you can go to airnow.gov to actually look up air quality in your own neighborhood, in your own locality, and I did put a link to that on my social media accounts. Future trackers showing that smoke will be right over Philadelphia, the thickest of it, at 11 o'clock tonight. But as we head towards Thursday morning, you can see that low pressure actually moves a little bit farther to the west. So the worst smoke will be over Buffalo, and that kind of pivots west of us. So we will still be dealing with a lot of smoke over our area tomorrow, but it won't be quite as intense as today. And as we head towards the weekend and our winds finally shift, finally we will get that smoke out of the air. Currently, Philadelphia is 73. We reached a high of 76. Our temperatures really suppressed thanks to that haze out there. Chalfont 72, Trenton 67, Millville 75, and Wilmington also 75 degrees. Satellite and radar showing that low pressure continuing to spin, and that is creating some shower activity. Some of this will sneak into our area by Friday afternoon. We desperately need the rain. Tonight, though, 58 degrees with that haze, so don't open up the windows tonight. Keep them closed. Keep that smoke out of your house. Tomorrow, we do it all over again. Hazy sunshine, Lehigh Valley, 73 degrees. Philadelphia, 78. At the Jersey Shore, you get that sea breeze, so that cools the temperature. It also helps clear the air a bit with a high of 71 degrees. And future tracker showing finally Friday afternoon, we get a scattering of some showers, kind of few and far between. The best chance of some wet weather will come on Monday. So the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Tomorrow we have that AccuWeather alert for the poor air quality, that smoky sky with a high of 78 degrees. On Friday, mixture of clouds and sunshine, some scattered showers in the afternoon, 74. On Saturday, it turns warmer, 81 degrees. On Sunday, up to 86 degrees, and our wind shift out of the southeast. So that's a better flow of air, bringing in some clearer air on Monday. Much needed shower activity developing in the afternoon and evening hours, perhaps with some storms. And Wednesday, partly sunny, 81. Of course, I will have an update on Action News tonight at 11.
Okay, Cecily, thank you.